Everyone, Josh with WarGamingNewb Historical back with another WarGamingNewb Builds an Army. This time around, French Resistance for Warlord Games Bolt Action. So not too long ago, I did an unboxing of this Wargames Atlantic World Ablaze Partisans kit. It's a nice way to break into French Resistance. You do get 32 hard plastic figures, 28mm scale, and it's affordable compared to the Warlord metal kits, which are almost as much as how much this kit cost. As you can see, that was what I paid for at my local gaming store. But in any case, whereas the Warlord metal kits are great, you only get 10 figures, but here I get 32, which will allow me to use this as a base for a French Resistance army. I was looking through the selectors, and I wanted to find something a little bit different because, I could just play, French Resistance. I found a selector that has a little bit more flavor than just your standard Partisans or French Resistance, and that's the Maquis Reinforced Platoon. My goal with this army build is to get to a 1,000-point army using the Maquis Reinforced Selector. This is going to be difficult because the Partisans themselves are super cheap. They are not expensive at all, and based on what I select for the infantry sections, I can have a large horde-like squad of partisans, but we'll see how it goes. My immediate goal is just to build a 500-point army. I'm going to be playing James in a couple weeks. He's going to be fielding the Germans for the first time, and I'm building a comparable 500-point list for him since he's not familiar with Germans. We're going to go with the Panzer Grenadier Reinforced Platoon, and I wanted to make it comparable in power, which is kind of difficult because the Germans are expensive, but they have the best toys, and I'm fielding Maquis, which are inexperienced and are only armed with what they have available to them. But there's a reason why I picked the Maquis Reinforced Platoon. So out of all those selectors, the cool thing about the Maquis Reinforced Platoon, you can take an SAS section to bolster the Maquis in their fight against the Germans. As I go through the army build, you'll see what I've chosen initially for this 500-point build, and then from there, I'm going to build up to 750 and then eventually 1,000 points, if possible. All right, we're going to go to the army build so that you can see how I'm building this army up from scratch. Alright, first off with my officer, I'm fielding a Maquis second lieutenant with submachine gun and his bodyguard who is armed with a rifle. Next up is the first infantry section for the platoon, and that's a small inexperienced Maquis squad. They're led by an NCO with a pistol. Everybody else has submachine guns except for this guy who is a marksman, so one of these will act as a loader for the marksman. This squad is armed with anti-tank grenades as well. Next up is the other larger Maquis Reinforced Platoon. These guys are mostly armed with rifles. I do have the NCO with a pistol, and we do have a light machine gun team here in the back. This guy's carrying a Bren gun, and this is his loader here, and they are also all armed with anti-tank grenades. To the main reason why I chose the Maquis Reinforced Platoon over all the other partisan platoons, the fact that you can take SAS in it. So you have to take an SAS infantry section in order to unlock other SAS options for the platoon. Here's my 4-man squad of veteran SAS. They are all armed with SMGs except for this guy who has a Bren gun, an LMG. This will be his loader. And because I got this min squad of SAS, now other options are available to me, and we're going to take a look at that. Alright, now that I have the SAS unlocked, rather than taking a partisan or Maquis weapons team, I'm now able to take an SAS weapons team. In this particular instance, it is an SAS Piat team. So this will give me a little bit of an anti-tank punch. Not much of one, but it's better than not having any at all. These guys are veterans. Alright, next up. The main reason why I wanted to take SAS was to take a Jeep. In this particular selector, you can only choose one. That's all I got. But hey, I'm still taking an SAS Jeep. This one is a veteran as well. it has a 1 forward-facing HMG, 2 rear-facing LMGs, and then added a forward-facing Vickers K machine gun, which will be mounted here. I forgot to put it on the model itself when I was building it, but you know, I will be adding that. This is going to be a great option for the Maquis Platoon, because it's so loaded with machine guns that I'll be able to take on larger infantry squads. It is soft topped, so there's not going to be a lot of resilience, but I'm hoping that it's fast enough to get to the flank of the opposing army in order to start taking down a few of the enemy infantry squads. So that's the whole reason why I brought the SAS. I wanted to have an SAS Jeep. So so the last part of my army, actually have not gotten it. It's on its way. Should be arriving any day now. I got this idea from one of the guys on the Facebook Bolt Action group, and because I asked a general question of what I could use as a general purpose truck, which is one part of one of the selectors for the transport. You can take either a general purpose truck or a civilian car. I wanted to take a truck, and one of the guys on the group suggested taking an Opel Blitz, and with regards to the fluff, it's a captured Opel Blitz. And so I went ahead and ordered that. So it's a regular general purpose truck, Opel Blitz, 39 points. There's nothing special about it. It's bare bones. It doesn't even have like a machine gun or anything like that, because you can mount one, like a pintle mounted 360 degree arc machine gun, but obviously the Opel Blitz model doesn't have that. I try to play WYSIWYG as much as I can, so it's just going to be a transport to get my large or small squad, depending on what I want to transport. I might use it to transport the SAS infantry section or the smaller SMG Maquis squad up the field. So yep, that's it. So alright, before I end this video, I wanted to show off the kits that I used to build this Maquis reinforced platoon. I started off with Wargames Atlantic's World Ablaze Partisans 1 French Resistance. Gave me everything I needed to create my 2 Maquis squads. I still have a bunch of figures left over in order to expand upon those squads once I up my total on my army. Next up, I purchased a sprue of Warlord Games British Airborne in order to make my SAS infantry section, which unlocked everything else I needed for the SAS portion of the Maquis Reinforced Platoon. Definitely a great addition to the force that I'm building. I then got Rubicon Models Willys MB Commonwealth Edition to make the Jeep. Excellent kit to build. This one is filled to the brim with options to build the standard British Jeep or the SAS or airborne Jeeps. Obviously I chose the SAS Jeep, and it's bristling with a bunch of machine guns. Lastly, which wasn't shown in the video but is coming soon, I purchased a Warlord Games Bolt Action Opel Blitz small tier truck to use as a stolen general purpose truck for the Maquis Platoon in order to transport my troops into battle. So, alright. Yep, that's it. So that's basically my 500 point army build for the Maquis Reinforced Platoon. I don't know how well it will do against James's 500 point Panzer Grenadier Reinforced Platoon. I'm sure I'm going to have difficulty facing that, and you'll be able to see that once we film the battle report between these two forces. You know, based on the results of that, I will build up to 750 with hopefully corrections that'll make the platoon a little bit more resilient. So anyway, alright, if you like this video, go ahead and click like. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of when episode 2 of this army build comes around. And then go ahead and join our Discord, link in the description below. Would love to chat with you guys about bolt action army builds and all that fun stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more WarGamingNewb Builds an Army on WarGamingNewb Historical.